sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get fuck you with to prove you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it for it. FaceTime before I get to the club, look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check to go. A lot of these was lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Hey. Okay. Pocket through big, they sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You and her, no chance, you go. Pocket through big, they sumo. 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 Pull card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You and her, no chance, you go. Pocket through big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Tell me who the hottest that you know. If it ain't me, you. Curry get the flame calling Prince Zuko. Swimming through the money like a flounder. I just want the knowledge and the power. Why the looking at me sour? Eat it like chowder. Rada. On my own, with no help, man. Gotta get it, that's it, and myself, man. They need a new hope, deal of a new, giving out like Shaq at the free throw. Anybody wanna be ET? Man, y'all can't see me. Out of my league, you pee-wee. Pocket too big, Rakisha. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You and her, no chance, you go. Pocket too big, they sumo. 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 Pull card like Uno. Flip like judo. You back to kudo. You and her, no chance, you go. Pocket too big, they sumo. 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 Money doubles up like a duo. I just want the yen and the euro. The game up and leave my kids like judo. Money come around like a Hoover. Making free bands in the future. Pockets on the look super. Bills on me blue slot Cooper. Money on my mind just like a tumor. Spread my money out and then I call it a rumor. Curry the is on the move, no Uber. People try to block it, shine like lunar. Eclipse when I take off.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on first is Wentz. Caught right side Tate. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Come on now, come on now, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Ertz has it left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the...
Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam
Watch
going.
it now, Barney, Barney. Gun, 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 gun.
They'll throw on 1st down with Lynch. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Nigel Bradham coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
You got 4.
Geis receives the pitch. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Gone!
On 3rd down, Lynch. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Out of the gun, Lynch. Escaping the pressure right. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. From the gun, it's Lynch. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. On the ground, Geis. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And, partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere. But they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback. And, indeed, he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back, came back and traded back into the 1st round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
Well, maybe a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this 1st quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They start on the ground with Geis. Powers through. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
Lucky 56.
On 1st down, it's Lynch. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Gone, 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 gone.
On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. Now he'll escape to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone.
From the shotgun, it's Lynch. And this is going to be incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a microcosm of how it's gone for their rushing game so far this year. 29th in the league on the ground.
Yeah, it's a great illustration of what we're seeing because these problems go back to the offensive line. You can't give guys free access to your backfield. Can't let these free runners come and get them because free runners turn into free hitters.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Finding room inside the 40. It's brought in left side by Tate. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, Because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Single, slots.
After the interception, here's Lynch. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Lynch. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break.
Leopard! Gun! Hey, we got four down.
Now Lynch on 1st down. And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown Washington. With touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Preston Smith in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down. Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Jonathan Allen in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Working from the gun, Wentz. Being chased out left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So out now come the Redskins. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, Lynch. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
From the gun, Lynch. And that is incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Tackled there by Monte Nicholson. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Ioannidis in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. And Tate's got it. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Wentz. He finds Ajayi. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Now a play fake. Wentz. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And he connects with Ertz. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. An Eagle 1st down. Wentz to Ertz.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are back within a score. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 13-7. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney!
Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st down, this is Geis. Touchdown, Washington! Darius Geis, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And he's got it. So the try for two successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They run with Ajayi. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He's going to get it running right. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Play action. Now Wentz. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Throwing is Wentz. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott from the left hash, a chip shot here. And Elliott puts this one through. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Lynch looking to throw on second. Just keeping the play alive. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw is Lynch. And incomplete here on third down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they settled for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And out now come the Eagles. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw, it's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful. And now they have to deal with second and very long. Throwing now is Wentz. Drops it off to Ajayi. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now Wentz on third down. And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 30-yard play on third. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, This intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Redskins touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They run with Geis. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Wentz now on first down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Reuben Foster in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Washington, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the New York Jets come to town. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hey. Okay. Pocket through big day sumo. Pulling card like Uno. Flip like judo. You act too culo. You and her no chance, you go. Pocket through big day sumo. 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 Pull card like Uno. Flip like judo. You act too culo. You and her no chance, you go. Pocket through big day sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Pocket too big, they sumo. Tell me who the hottest that you know. If it ain't me, you. Curry gets the flame calling Prince Zuko. Swimming through the money like a flounder. I just want the knowledge and the power. Why the looking at me sour? Eat it like chowder. Rada. Never gave a about $1. More money, me, more problems. Pray for me to fall like autumn. Cause I got it on my own with no help, man. Got a, that's it, and myself, man.